Good evening, and welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the Think Show that proves without a shadow of a doubt that the so called African American didn't find his way to America in the trunk of a ship. I'm your host, the Indigenous One. And tonight we're going to take a look at this phenomena. What is, and tonight we're going to take a look at it from what it represents today, what we have been taught about it, what we have been told about it, what it is. In America right now, you have the world being dumped over here. Now, most of the people that call themselves Black, African American, Negro, all of those people, they really don't know who they are. You can try it don't work. Because all these people are coming here standing on the land that your people left to you. See, this is something we don't want to talk about. This is your responsibility. And all these people are coming over here making demands that they wouldn't make in their own homelands. And what you call the Negro, the African American, the Black, they're just standing around pretending like they don't see what's going on. When you do, you see your state senators or whoever those people are in those highest offices standing on their head, shaking their ass so the world can see. You see it. You see all the African American politicians who always get caught up in some bullshit. You see it because you vote for them. You like to keep playing these games that keep you in this lie that you in. And you're going to be proud to pass it down to your children. If you look at the news, what's going on around, they're busing all kind of immigrants all over the place. States that don't want them, counties, and it's about to be a mess. Plus, we don't know who these people coming in are, who we are, right? Because, the African American, nobody runs anything through them. These are people from the outside coming into your home, and you don't have nothing to say about it. This is the African, you know who you are. You don't care. But let's be honest. See, that's a lot of people get mad. Oh man, we ain't gotta be. Yeah, it is like that. Stop whining and start looking at the situation that you leaving your kids, your grandkids, your great grandkids in. I know many of you don't care. You might want to go ahead and watch the football game or whatever on tonight, because you won't get what we're talking about tonight. So tribalism. Tribalism is this. We'll get to the African American last. So what you have going on now, if you look at cities like New York, if you look at cities like Los Angeles, Chicago, maybe in some of the cities that you're near, but definitely the big cities, you'll have little enclaves. It may be Little China, Little Tokyo, Little Bangladesh, Little Ethiopia, Little Greek, all over the place, in Atlanta, anywhere. But you never see the little Accomacs. You never see the little Letterhatchie, the little Tuskegee. You never see all these towns named after you, who make sure the other people that I just named, See, what keeps them going is you, right? Because don't we just love? We don't feel like we're a part of if we're not putting our money in other people's pocket, right or wrong. Now, see, we'll pretend like that ain't happening so we can keep doing it. What are you teaching your folks? To do the same thing. See, older people, Neely Fuller, he comes to mind. You can get a lot of history out of him. He can tell you a lot. Claude Anderson, he can tell you a lot about, what was going on, things that he's seen. These are eyewitness accounts that you have to know, because the African American is not the same person as the colored people were. They're two totally different things. And the African American don't even know that they're connected. They're the colored people. What you call the African American now, that's a puppet, really. There was no African Americans in the 70s. There were no African Americans in the 1960s. This is a new group. And you have to ask yourself, why is it that your ethnic identity is changing every damn near generation and you don't have nothing to say about it? How is that? What is that? We act like we don't know, but okay. So many of you have been listening to me for a while, and I'm just trying to bring some clarity into this fuzzy shit that's going on, that's blinding everybody. So I want to share with you some things tonight. You can use it. And all I'm saying, wouldn't it be advantageous to you if you were connected to the lands that your people are buried in? I mean, huh? Huh? Wouldn't you get a clarity on what to do? But since you pretend that you're not them, keep pretending that. But those of you who know what's going on with that, this is why it's going to be very important for you. This is why it's going to be very important for you. This is why it's going to get very, very important for you. Now, when we see things like this, normally what the Negro African American does, this is normally what they do. They get emotional. I mean, since we've been on social media, many of you can say how the African American Negro Act is not, really, it's not how people should be acting. And that's very important. It's very important. We talked about people who are high, who wear ties, who talk good, ministers, teachers, politicians, what all of these Negroes who wanted to integrate into this way of living, and what has led many of us to, now you're in a position where you're going to have to fight your way out. Because what you are showing the world on social media is that you're basically an idiot. And it gives people from other lands to come here and check you. and you don't say nothing. I mean, you don't even know how to communicate. Now, what these two men are doing, and this is what I mean, we got to start understanding what we're doing. You may see these two guys as arguing. You can. What I see, and I mean, if you see it, you got it. All I see is a transference of energy. King Bidgie, what's going on, brother? That does it look like that brother's gonna do something? No. He's just blowing a lot of hot air, which is what most of us do. That's a waste of energy. That's a waste of energy. Now, transfer what that brother's putting out, transfer that energy in what he could be doing. Just that energy he's expending right there in that 5 seconds. What could that energy do? It's like the question I always ask the sisters. What could you be doing with the brothers who watch football? Those hours can be converted into work. I normally ask sisters, what could you do with that? What could you do with that energy? And it just blows their mind. This is how we waste energy. This is how we waste energy. We don't think before we talk. We just say anything. I mean, you see it. Social media is telling you. So now how social media is doing, if you look at some of these right-wing groups, what they think about you, they have people calling you nigga to your face and you laughing and giggling, or your children are laughing and giggling. So there's a lot of confusion going around in the world. A lot of confusion going around in the world. And the people who know each other are going to stick with each other. See, the people who came over here from the same places, they're going to lean on each other. Because the world already knows where we're standing. And these people are coming knowing that the vast majority of us don't know who we are. Check out Texas. Check out Texas. Check out the brothers in Texas. Check that out. See, we got to start knowing these things. Instead of every time somebody says something, we just jump in any old group and it never turns out in your favor. Never. But we like to pretend because we got invited to the fish fry. It's cool. Tribalism. All these nations are coming over here. They traveling through now by bus all over the country. These people from Guatemala, Colombia, set up right in your midst. Many of us have our parents being taken care of by those same people. Huh? And you cool with it? You have nothing to say? All these people coming from these different places, they all have instructions. I know you know that. They have instructions on what to do when they get here. What instructions do you have? Where are you going to go if something pop off in these cities? Hmm? What if they say another lockdown and the people just revolt? Then what? Have we thought out these things? Do we think about these things? You're having the world flood over here just like they were flooding over in Europe a couple of years ago. That's how you got all those Africans up in the Ukraine. Then they send the Ukrainians over here, letting them go to school for free in schools your kids can't even get into. But you stand and run your mouth like you doing something. This is American tribalism. This is what they're trying to make it. This is what they are making it now. And many of you see it. And many of you see many of us, jumping in other people's tribes. Isn't that what we do? Go jump in other people's tribes, pretending that is yours. The Negro's good at that. This is where we are. So, tribalism, they're setting it up, y'all. It's already done. It's already done. So there's gonna be an event. Those of you guys who witnessed 9/11, those of you who witnessed, were around when they killed those people in Waco, Texas, when they killed those people in Oklahoma City, when they killed those people down in Jonestown, Guyana. You know the feeling when something is about to happen. We're so wrapped up into this electromagnetic pollution, the average person don't even know how to think. It's difficult. They don't even know what it is. Along with the food additives, don't forget those. See, we like to eat and think that's all we're eating is what they telling the senses in the package. No, they have things on the food that's supposed to make the food last longer. Your body don't recognize that. James Brown said air and water too. You damn right. Right. So be careful on the tribalism because, like I said, you have a lot of people coming over here. And from what I hear, what they're telling them off the boat is you're not to be fucked with. Don't mess with you. All right. So now what I want to show you, now this right here is real important. And this is what I mean when I say connect yourself to the land, y'all, because you got to remember the land, you come from the land. They say ashes to ashes, dust to dust. You come from this. Your ancestors are buried there. Why you apt to want to go somewhere else and be other people, I don't know, but you can do what you want to do. Do you, boo? So the last thing I want to share is this, and this is important, because this is what I mean, how we connect ourselves back to the land. There's a myriad of ways of doing it. There's going to be people coming up with ways 100 years after I'm gone to connect yourself back to the land or find out who you are, where your people live, blah, 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 blah. So this book is called Free Negro Heads of the Families in the United States in 1830. You can go through this whole book, you don't see any African names. This is in 1830. Check out some of these people. Now this is just one page. The book is 300 pages. Let's say 290, because you know they got those extra pages in the front and back of the book that's just wasting space. But all of these names are people that were classified as Negroes in the 1830. I'm sure some of y'all who's watching this are connected to some of those people. They give you the counties and stuff too. So if you look up here, it says Chowan County. I mean, you can't find if your great-great-grandmother came or lived near Chowan County or the county next to it. Huh? That's what I mean, connecting yourself back. The lady over here, that's a Ukrainian in the House of Representatives over there. She can't do that. None of these people you see can do that. You can and won't. So those of you who will, this is for you. You know, just find out where your people are. Some of these may be some of your cousins or whoever. But other people, since you name your name Him Top Hopek, since you call yourself that, other immigrants come over and pick off these names because you won't do it. This is how we lose. This is how every time we do something, every time we think we're doing something, but all you're doing is running away. Who runs away from themselves? What you call the African American does. And it's, well, yeah, it is his fault because he let it get to this. But, like I said, the African American is new. The African American is not 50 years old. The African American is not 40 years old. It's a new construct. It's a new idea. They were grafted from the blacks. When they were calling your people Negroes, there was no African Americans. Ask your mama. If you think I'm lying, ask her. She'll tell you. These are made up people, and they do it to you every generation. Black people wasn't the same as colored people. That's why they change your identity, so they can confuse your children later on. Shouldn't we know this by now? Shouldn't we notice in the first couple of years of integration that school stuff wasn't going to work, and we still doing it, knowing that it don't prepare you for a goddamn thing, and we still do it? That's how they know, they got us. They're teaching you nothing for your benefit. Yeah, a couple of us, may get jobs, but they have this formation of different countries called BRICS. I think it's Brazil, Russia, Israel, and China, South Africa, something like that. Those countries got together and formed a bloc. They organized themselves, something that the African American can take stock in. Tribalism is starting, y'all. Are you ready?